of these 6 people could be winning £10,000. But to do so, they must eliminate all the others. It's Dog Eat Dog. Welcome to Dog Eat Dog, the show where £10,000 can be won by whoever's got their opponents well and truly sussed. We sent our contestants away on an intensive 24-hour team-building course, packed with chances to weigh each other up, but possibly to mislead each other as well. So we also gave them some more formal tests designed to expose where their talents really lie. So, who do you think could be leaving £10,000 richer?
If Kelly had to sum herself up in one sentence, it would be, I'm intelligent, good-looking and ambitious, and I use these qualities on a daily basis to get what I want. Caroline enjoys 3D decoupage and using her cleavage as a drinking aid. This hasn't stopped her representing the United Kingdom in diving or being the best hurdler at school. How does a tree-hugging, margarita-drinking tank girl spend her free time? Well, Heather likes to spend hers in the gym in an endless quest for Madonna-like arms. Andy likes to start each day with a smile. In between times, he's currently building a doll's house for his daughter. Chris used to be in HM Forces, so we can't list his party tricks here. What we can tell you is that he would like to wear a smoking jacket at one point in his life. Stuart has just completed his A-levels, but despite his young age, he can impersonate Billy Connolly with his legs behind his head.
My strategy for Dog Eat Dog has been to be myself, because I can't be anybody else. Wouldn't want to be anyone else.
I'd like to say to everyone in the group, you seem to think I'm the blonde bimbo, but you're wrong, and just watch out for me.
I have no friends when we get in the studio, you know? This isn't a time for making friends. I did not come here to make friends.
Doing this kind of thing doesn't worry me because I actually thrive on the challenge, and as an individual I try and do things that I don't want to do just to better myself.
Polite, opinionated and arrogant. 3 words I think I would use to describe myself.
The rest of the group are a complete bunch of losers. They all have ambition, but none of them has any talent whatsoever.
Some tough talking there. Well, you're all laughing now, but you won't be for long. OK, so here's how the game works. In each round, I'll set a challenge, and you must each nominate an opponent for that challenge. Whoever gets the most nominations will take on the challenge. If they fail, that's it. They're out of the game, and they have to make their way to the loser's bench over there, waving goodbye to that £10,000. If, however, they succeed in the challenge, of course, as you know, it's time for revenge, because they can then send any of those who nominated them onto the loser's bench in their place. OK? All right, so who's going to be our first victim? It's time to find out in tonight's physical challenge. The chosen player will be strapped into this cage. Their challenge is to build up enough momentum to take them all the way over the top. They must do this going forwards, and they have 90 seconds to pull off this 360-degree feat. Who do you want to nominate for the physical challenge? Please make your choice now. Let's look back at the physical side of the away day.
Our physical test showed Caroline and Andy have good fitness and technique. Kelly and Heather were relatively weak, with ex-army man Chris pulling up with a stomach injury that may hold him back.
Stuart was a complete wuss when it came to the 3D swing.
Oh, I'd say Stuart was definitely more Jane than Tarzan.
Chris was strong, he was brave, but he was a wimp.
I didn't do the swing challenge due to a genuine fear of height.
He's more Barbie than Ken.
Loser.
Andy's a great all-rounder. He's great at maths, he's great at English, he's got great logic, he's good at problem solving.
From my point of view, ever since I knew I was coming on the away day, I've been trying to put a lot of work in the sidelines.
Trouble is, he's not too good on the physical. He's a bit sloppy.
I don't feel we've seen the real Heather, and if we have, I don't like what I've seen.
I think out of the women, Caroline would probably be the worst.
She did the swing, and her scream was louder than anything. although perhaps not Heather's voice.
I think Heather, our very own mad American,
She's very insecure,
just feels no fear.
doesn't have any confidence,
And the 3G swing gave her a chance to be the centre of attention.
and that will be her downfall because she just doesn't have the courage of her own convictions.
I think Kelly would be one of the ones that would be worst at the physical challenge.
I have absolutely no problems with any physical challenge. I just say, bring it on.
Oh, it gets better. OK, let's have a look at how you voted. Kelly.
Stuart.
Chris.
Kelly.
Caroline.
Kelly.
Andy.
Stuart.
Heather.
Kelly.
Stuart.
Kelly.
Well, 4 votes for you, Kelly, but I'm interested, Stuart, why you voted for Kelly when you thought Andy was such a wuss.
I think I was mistaken. I was a bit stupid. Apologies.
Why would you decide that now? Is that a tactical
I just
vote?
thought it was just because Andy's, you know, getting on a bit and everything. I thought maybe he wasn't going to be too fit.
So, but you voted for Kelly?
Yes,
Because?
she's a girl.
We'll be dealing with you a little bit later, Stuart, but in the meantime, Kelly, come with me and let's see how you get on. So, while Kelly is getting ready, remember this has very little to do with physical strength. It's all about technique. Kelly has to build up enough momentum to swing all the way over the top. She has just 90 seconds in which to do it. Kelly, are you ready?
I am.
Good luck. Your fight for survival starts now. Good, come on. Yeah, come on. Go, Kelly. Yes, you're nearly there. Come on, you're gonna do it. Yeah. Come on. Come on, you got lots of time. Come on, do it. Yeah. Last one. I have to say, Kelly, that was tremendous. How did it feel?
Incredible. And the fact that I got over and I get to take one of them off now is brilliant. You can have Chris, Caroline, Heather or Stuart.
No. You might have thought about this beforehand, so tell us, who's it going to be?
I'm afraid my biggest rival, who is Chris.
Oh, come on then, Chris, come over. Were you expecting that, Chris?
No, actually, no.
Were you suspecting that you were her biggest rival?
I didn't. I thought I'd managed to blend into the background quite nicely, but obviously not.
She's a bright girl.
I knew he was a threat.
Right, well, that's why I'm afraid it's the end of the show for you so far. It's been a short visit, hasn't it?
Certainly has, but the fat lady ain't singing yet, so the game ain't over.
Thank you. You're very kind. Kelly, you're back in the game. Chris, it's off to the loser's bench. down and 5 left, and 3 very lucky people to still be sitting here. Okay, so who's going to be fighting for survival in our next challenge, which tests language skills? Here's how it works. This chain must be filled with 8 words using the letters at the bottom of the screen. A crossword-style clue will appear in the centre, and the answer must be spelt out by selecting the right letters. For example, if the clue is colour, the answer would be green. Ooh. There we go. The last letter of each word is also the first letter of the next one. If the player selects an incorrect letter, it will turn red, and they'll be locked out for 2 seconds. They can pass, but must complete the chain in 90 seconds. So, who are you going to nominate for this challenge? Please make your choice now. Let's see what happened on the away day.
Bank manager Caroline and IT man Chris should be confident going into a language challenge, with student Kelly propping up the group.
Heather's your typical American. She's loud, she's brash, she's arrogant, she thinks she knows everything. She probably doesn't, but then I can't tell anything about a word she says because she talks with such a stupid accent.
Stuart, whatever. I swear that Heather just feels the need to have her voice heard every single second.
I have to say that Kelly is probably the least intelligent and is probably just really rude, like because she's blonde or something.
Stuart is a little over-expressively camp for my personal choice, and he's very expressive with his hands. It doesn't really do much for me.
I think Heather would be very strong in word rounds.
She can talk for England.
Because she's a copywriter for an ad agency. She's working with words every day.
I have a degree in literature, so not that I broadcasted that when I came here.
Well, without further ado, let's see who you voted for. Kelly.
Andy.
Caroline.
Heather.
Andy.
Kelly.
Heather.
Caroline.
Stuart.
Heather.
So, Heather, 2 votes for you. How are you feeling about that? You seem pretty confident.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, do you want to come with me and let's see how you get on? All right, so we'll give you the first letter of the chain. You'll have 90 seconds. You may pass, but of course you've got to complete all 8 words in the 90 seconds. All right? Are you ready? Okay, your fight for survival starts now.
Pass. Pass.
Easy for a copywriter, wasn't it?
Not too difficult.
Not too difficult. Okay, well, that's very good. I hope you won't find this next bit too difficult either. Little Stuart and lovely Caroline are wondering who is going to be taking your place on the losers' bench.
Caroline.
Okay, Caroline, come on over. Caroline, were you expecting that? Did you suspect?
Absolutely, from the start.
Why?
Well, Stuart's no competition whatsoever, so she wasn't going to vote him off. And I think my love for Heather and Heather's love for me is pretty obvious, so she didn't even have to do it. I knew it was coming off.
You started walking before she'd even said anything.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to carry on walking to the losers' bench, and it's back in the game for you, Heather. All right. 2 down and 4 left. Well, I wonder who's going to be struggling in our next round, which tests math skills. It works like this. I will give a starting number, for example, 250. I will then read out a calculation, like plus 50. The answer is 300, which becomes the new starting number. The chosen player cannot pass and must complete 10 calculations within 90 seconds. So, who are you going to nominate for the maths challenge? Make your choice now. Let's see how they coped with maths on the away day.
Until now, the contestants only knew where they themselves came in our maths test. We can now reveal that they all struggled, especially Heather and Kelly.
I think Heather is probably more worried about how she looks on camera than what she actually achieves within the challenges themselves.
Everyone can kiss my when I win all the money.
Darts was a good indication of mental arithmetic, and I found that Stuart found that very difficult.
I wouldn't hesitate to nominate Kelly for maths.
So I'm sorry, Kelly, when it comes to numbers, stereotype rings true, and you are just a bimbo.
I could have added up my scores and subtracted them a lot quicker than I did, but I thought, wow, let them think that I'm weak at maths and hopefully they might nominate me for a challenge.
I don't think Kelly would be the one out of the group who's been bluffing us at all.
The person I would least like to see win would be Stuart. He's very over the top, he's very loud, he's very brash, and he's constantly trying to show off.
All right, then let's get on with your voting. Kelly.
Stuart.
Andy.
Heather.
Heather.
Stuart.
Stuart.
Andy.
We didn't really need to hear your vote, did we? We kind of knew.
No.
There was 2 votes against you already. Dear.
Never mind.
Are you up for this?
Yes.
Upbeat.
Yes.
Onwards and upwards.
I will win.
Will you trust a girl to show you how it works?
Probably not.
Well, you're going to have to. In that case, come with me. I'm a woman. Remember, you cannot pass, Stuart. You've got 10 calculations to make inside the 90 seconds. Good luck. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Your fight for survival starts now. 25 times 11.
225. No. 200. No. 275.
Correct. Minus 35.
245.
Incorrect.
220. Oh. 235.
Incorrect.
200. Minus 35. 235. 240.
Correct. Divided by 8.
$80. 40.
Incorrect.
30.
Correct. Times 5.
150.
Correct. Plus 956.
1,106.
Correct. Minus 450.
$656.
Correct. Times 3.
1978. 1978.
Incorrect.
Times 3.
Times 3.
$1,968.
Correct. Divided by 4. Stuart, I think you were 3 short there.
Oh, never mind.
Let's hear it for Stuart. So we're down to the final 3. Well, who's going to be next to fall by the wayside? This time, the skill that's coming under the microscope is logic and hand-eye coordination. Here's how it works. challenge is to fill this empty grid with the 15 pieces below so that the pipe runs continuously from the start point here to the exit point there. To insert a piece, they simply press it and press it where they want it to sit. If a correct move is made, the piece stays in the grid, but if they try to put it in the wrong place, it will be rejected and they must try again. The chosen player will have 90 seconds to complete the grid. So, who are you going to nominate for the hand-eye coordination challenge? Make your choice now. Here's what happened on the away day.
Our test showed that all-rounder Andy combines a logical mind with good hand-eye coordination. The most mentally and physically muddled were Heather and Kelly. More publicly, riddles, problem-solving, juggling and building blocks put the group skills on display.
I think Andy's probably the most clumsy.
I really wanted to hang my head at times.
I think probably his age is going against him and his reflexes aren't what they used to be.
Kelly, win the money, has it.
Heather was struggling with the juggling.
No, she was atrocious at juggling, but according to her, it was all down to her tiny hands. Whatever.
Whatever.
On the steeplechase, Heather was getting really annoyed with Kelly. You're always standing at the end with the barrel. You don't do nothing.
Ow.
I really am hoping that I don't have to face a logical challenge because it's quite obvious that that is not my strength.
I'm gonna eat these people alive. I have to be friendly to them first, though.
I don't really like Heather, I've got to say.
But it's not summer camp.
All right, let's see how you've voted. Kelly?
Heather.
Andy?
Heather.
Kelly.
Okay. Why did you choose Kelly?
I chose Kelly because I think that Andy's really good at puzzles, so I didn't want him to get up there.
Well, it's going to be your second challenge of the evening. Will you rise to it? Mm-hmm. Okay, come with me. Okay, so you know the pipe needs to run continuously from start to finish, and you've just got 90 seconds in which to complete it. Mm-hmm. Okay? Heather, are you ready? Your fight for survival starts now. Well, yes, you didn't even manage to get one piece in. Well, it was actually the bottom right piece that was the first piece to go in. Do you do any plumbing at home? No.
Just take lots of baths.
Now, Heather, I can't resist it, but I have to say, loser. Off you go. And then there were two. Well, Kelly and Andy, congratulations to the two of you for surviving this far. Now, there can only be one top dog at the end of the show who will have the chance to play for £10,000. The other person, I'm afraid, is going to be making their way over to the loser's bench over there. You're now about to go head-to-head in a game that's all about staying cool under pressure. Come with me and I'll show you how it works. Now your challenge is to find the hidden route across your grid and make it to the finish podium over there. And when you step on a correct square, it turns white. You then have to find the next square in the route, bearing in mind that you can move diagonally. Make a wrong move and your lights go out, sending you back to the start. The route is the same for the two of you, so how much attention you choose to pay to each other is up to you. But I will remind you, you can only stay on any one square for 15 seconds. First to the finish podium is the winner and will have the chance to play for the £10,000. Are you ready?
Yes.
Take up your positions. Kelly and Andy, your fight for survival starts now. You forgot where you'd already been, and then you wake back, and that's presumably where you lost the time.
Yeah.
Oh, you're upset.
Yeah, I did all the work for him.
What do you have to say about that?
I done really well.
Yeah. You did very well indeed. I'm afraid it's off to the loser's bench at the very last post, I'm afraid, for you, Kelly. Let's hear it for Kelly, everybody. Well, Andy, you've been a quiet man all night, but you are tonight's top dog, and you are the only person who can walk away with £10,000.
Yeah.
You've used your knowledge of your opponents very wisely indeed throughout tonight's show. You need to use it just one more time in our general knowledge challenge, OK?
No problem.
But let's just take a quick look at the away day to see if there are any more clues.
I think Kelly only got one answer right during their general knowledge games. If she had to choose a specialist subject, it'd probably be peroxide.
I think within the group, Stuart is probably the thickest.
If they choose me to do the general knowledge quiz, I think I'll cry.
I think Stuart was very hasty on the buzzer. Whether it's a big cry for attention and look at me, there's a loud bell noise to get it.
Chris doesn't seem to have a great general knowledge. I wouldn't mind going in a head-to-head with him.
I think Stuart and Kelly have got little chance of winning the money.
Well, Andy, I have here 5 questions, each in a different category, and for each category you must decide which of the losers is most likely to get the question wrong. You can pick each of them only once, so think very carefully indeed. Now, for everyone they get wrong, you score a point. For everyone they get right, they score a point. It's the first to 3 points. If you win, you take away the £10,000. If they win, they take the £10,000 and split it between the 5 of them, okay? You ready to play?
Yeah,
let's play for £10,000. Okay, Andy, the first category is film. Who's bound to get a question on film wrong?
Kelly.
Who directed the Oscar-winning year 2000 film Gladiator?
Ridley Scott.
You say Ridley Scott. The answer is Ridley Scott. And the next category, Andy, is history.
Caroline.
In which century did Alexander Graham Bell invent the telephone?
The 17th.
You say the 17th. The correct answer is the 19th century. 1 point to Andy. Andy, the next category is geography.
Stuart.
In which ocean would you find the Galapagos Islands?
The Atlantic.
You say the Atlantic. The answer is Pacific Ocean. 2 points to Andy. Andy's not over yet. We're 1 point away from £10,000, and I'm going to hand you the category of science. Who might be useless at science?
Heather.
Heather, step forward. You lose this question, Andy will walk away with £10,000. The question is, what is the chemical equation for carbon dioxide?
CO2.
You say CO2, you're absolutely right. Well, this is as close as it gets, Andy. Either team now a point away from £10,000, and the category is television. You get this right, Chris. You personally will walk home with £2,000.
Okay.
Which character did Joanna Lumley play in the 1970s series The New Avengers?
Purdy.
You say Purdy. The correct answer is Purdy.
They played well. They played well.
They certainly did. Go over and congratulate them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Dog Eat Dog. See you next time. And remember, every dog has its day. Good night.
If you would like to be a contestant on the next series of Dog Eat Dog, Then ring our contestant hotline on 09001 114408. Calls cost no more than 60p. Or send a stamped address envelope to Dog Eat Dog, BBC TV Centre, room 7005, Wood Lane, London, W12 7RJ. Or email us on dogeatdog@bbc.co.uk.